Ditching DEI, the U.S. Naval Academy removing nearly 400 books from its library. The step follows the Trump administration's efforts to eliminate material related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Joey Jones is here to tell us a little bit more. One of our former colleagues, now the Secretary of Defense, put this on his X post. The president's guidance, lawful orders, is clear. No more DEI at Department of Defense. The Pentagon will comply immediately. And so apparently now they've gone through at the Naval Academy and purged 400 books from the library. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know if the 400 books are a big deal, but the posture among the professors to not assign books and topics that are dealing with things like equity and inclusion rather than lethality and effectiveness, that's a big deal. That's a cultural change that Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump are instituting, and it's one that I'll tell you is absolutely welcomed. I was at Parris Island, South Carolina yesterday, the place where Marines are made. An African-American general with the biggest smile in the world on his face stood on a compass painted on the ground and says, "You know why this compass is here? This is the center of the Marine Corps universe." And I think the Naval Academy should have that same pride, not in some initiative or some activism, but in the simple fact that that is where naval officers are born. We don't have the resources, assets, or bandwidth to struggle with how to beat China in the Pacific and how to be equitable and inclusive at the same time. Those things don't mesh, because ultimately, to be an effective battlefield leader, you need to go through moments in your life where you feel like things are unfair, where you didn't get the opportunity you deserved. And instead of crying about it or asking for a change, you went and earned it twice as much. And when you got there, you were twice as good as the person next to you who maybe had an easier path. A famous football coach says fair is where you give a blue ribbon to a pig. We shouldn't be trying to be fair. We should make sure people aren't discriminated against, but thinking about elevating people because life wasn't fair to them, that doesn't make any sense at all. And you are a great dad. I wanted to read this to you from the Education Department. It's a memo about schools also being put on notice, saying that the use of certain DEI practices can violate federal law. The continued use of illegal DEI practices may subject the individual or entity using such practices to serious consequences. I mean, your kids range in ages, but as a dad and not just a Marine, how do you see that? Yeah, I've got a son, so he's a white male student, and there have been times in the last maybe 5 to 10 years where I was afraid he would be discriminated against because of that. The truth is, I just want my kids to learn that their merit and their hard work is enough. And I think any program that focuses on that, if it falls under some DEI label, then let's take another look at it and reevaluate it. But any program that gives kids the opportunity to just earn it and to learn that sometimes you earn it and you still don't get it, but that doesn't mean you give up. Those are lessons that every kid deserves to learn. No kid deserves to be held behind based on their race, gender, or anything else, and I just truly don't believe that's happening. And so I think these programs are a lot all for naught. Joey Jones, it's always great to see you. Will we see you this weekend? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.